Okay, I've already thinly sliced squash and eggplant. I chopped up 2 onions, but I'm only going to use like an onion and a half. I thought it'll be like an onion and a half. And I'm getting ready to chop some garlic. Okay, can you see the garlic up on top? Then this. You know what? I can already tell that the recipe is a little defective. It's saying an 8 by 8 by 2 pan. That isn't going to be big enough. I'm going to have to get 8. I'm going to modify the recipe and tell you to use a bigger baking utensil here. I'm going to get a larger one out. This one's not going to be big enough, I can tell. Oh, goodness. Okay, I got all the ingredients out, and yogurt. I decided to use a 9 by 13. Some more yogurt. I already measured out the dough. That's about 1 to 1.5 to 2 tablespoons. Okay, and here's the black pepper, which I'll be using later. Right now, I am cooking the ground beef. And after I get it pretty much cooked, then I'm going to throw in the dill and the onions and the garlic. So let's go ahead and work on that. Okay, yeah, hold on. Okay, let me throw in some, here's some, they say freshly ground pepper, but this is like Trader Joe's pepper. It's pretty good here. And throw in some of this. This will work. Let me go ahead and cook this now, kind of like, this was one of my favorite recipes in the early 1990s. Yeah. It's from a 1980 American Heart Association cookbook. I'll have to modify the recipe because the size pan that they recommend is definitely too small. So let me go ahead and cook this, and then I'll layer the stuff in the pan. It's a baked casserole, but this part needs to be done in the pan. You know, the recipe is it's the American Heart Association cookbook, so it doesn't have any salt. Actually, I think I'm going to make it without salt, and if I want to, I can add salt later. I do not like a lot of salt in my food. I like to be able to taste the food, you know. So we'll just go ahead and finish cooking this, and then I'll go on to the next step. I was right about needing a larger pan, a larger thing. Okay, you start with a layer of vegetables. So here is the layer of eggplant and squash. And then you put a layer of the meat. So I'm going to put about half of this over here. So, because I'm going to have to do another layer of meat. So, yeah, that recipe's faulty. 8 by 8 by 2 is definitely too small. Yeah. So I'll fix it. I'll have the recipe updated. You need about a 9 by 13 inch pan here. Let's get some more meat here. Okay. There. Now we need to put down another layer of vegetables. So I put like 1/3 of the vegetables down, and now I'm going to put another layer down. Okay, I put down another layer of vegetables. Now we're going to put another layer of meat. I'm probably going to be adding some salt when I eat this later, but I like to go low salt. I like to be able to taste my food. I don't like drowning my food with salt. Like I said, this was the American Heart Association cookbook. Alright. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. Now the recipe calls for low-fat yogurt. Actually, one of the reasons I chose to do this recipe is because I have some full-fat probiotic yogurt that's kind of like past its expiration date, and I need to use it up. Okay, so we've got all this. I'm doing all this over here. Now we top it with the final layer of vegetables. That'll be that right there. The recipe says to put 2 cups of yogurt on top of all this. So I'm going to spoon the yogurt into here. This is my probiotic yogurt. Yeah, because, I got to use it up. It's past its expiration date, and I didn't eat it because I was worried about my infection getting worse, and now I'm going to use it up in this recipe. So, yeah, it's whole milk. The recipe says low-fat milk, but hey, it'll still be good, Actually, my husband Brent says it's better to have some fat in your food because it helps you absorb your vitamins better. So let me go ahead and put in 2 cups of yogurt on top of everything. And as you can see, that is the right size pan. 8 by 8 by 2 is definitely too small. It has to be a 9 by 13. We're going to go ahead and bake it at 350. And let me go ahead and shut the oven door. And we're going to bake it now for about an hour. And then I'll show you when it's done. Okay, it's been in here about 15 minutes. The recipe doesn't say to do this, but I'm going to cover this with aluminum foil and stick it in for about another 10 minutes. Because it was hot, I used a pot holder to do it, and I'm going to stick it in for about another 10 minutes. Okay, there it is. I'm not going to try eating it right now. It's steaming hot. So I'm going to take a shower, and then when I get out of the shower, I will test it and let you know. Though I've had this recipe before, and I know it's good. Okay, here it is. Let's see if I can get it in better lighting here. Yeah, I'm going to add a little bit of salt. I always do, but I prefer to salt it, after it comes out, because I don't like a whole bunch. I'm going to put it back over here. I actually decided to try it now, so. Yep, it is good. Yep, this is good. I'm going to go ahead and post this recipe at my website. The dill gives it a really nice flavor, and you may not need to add salt. It'll probably be better for your health, right? It's delicious. Yep, it's really good. I remember I really liked it in the early 1990s. So I will post this at my cooking channel.
In a world of secrets, where darkness reigns, there's a warrior rising, breaking free from chains. She's Gail Schuler, her heart's pure and strong. With the power of love, she'll right the world's wrongs. Yeah, fighting against the devil with order. She's the first, a passionate crusader.